Friday's first video for you. Firstly, Somalia, where after 48 hours, presidential election will be held. Farmjao wants another term. Before that, a blow to Farmjao, a commander of Ogaden National Liberation Front, who was handed over to Ethiopia in 2017, is back in Somalia. It is being seen as a blow to Farmjao's bid for another term. Second news story is from Eritrea once again. Eritrea backed Russia in a session of Human Rights Council held a few hours ago. 10 countries abstained from voting. 2 openly supported Russia. Third news story is from Afar Somali regions. We know that the regional forces, militias of the two regions, they have been involved in border clashes. But today, Awul Arba Afar president arrived in Jigjiga, Somali region. Fourthly, viewers, 4 Tigray-based non-state actors, they have written a letter to Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch. Human Rights Watch and Amnesty last month released a report about ethnic cleansing of Tigrayans in Western Tigray. These 4 bodies have shared some concerns. They want some corrections in the report released by HRW Amnesty. Lastly, we have a video clip for you, just a video clip. Video clip shows Derartu Tulu, legendary Ethiopian athlete, first black African woman who won Olympic gold medal. In the video, she seems to be very angry. She's arguing with some security officials. We have this clip for you. Let's start from Somalia. On the 15th of May, presidential election will be held just 2 days, after 2 days. And before that, Farmjao is facing another embarrassment. In 2017, Farmjao government extradited a Somalia's national ONLF commander Abdul Karim Kalbi Daga. He was commander of Ogaden National Liberation Front. He was handed over to Ethiopia by Somalia. Ogaden National Liberation Front, armed group, fought for several years in Somalia, Ethiopia border areas. Then after PM Abiy came to office in Ethiopia, the group turned into a political party. It remained banned in Somalia though. But last year, PM Roble's cabinet cancelled earlier decision of banning ONLF, and then efforts started that Abdul Karim Kalbi should return to Somalia from Ethiopia, who was extradited in 2017. And yesterday he arrived back in Somalia. PM Roble welcomed him. PM Roble awarded him a medal. PM Roble presented him Somalia's national flag. So Abdul Karim is being warmly welcomed back in Somalia. Is it a sort of embarrassment for a blow to Farmjao's term, Farmjao's bid for that term? Because Farmjao was blamed for extradition of Abdul Karim from Somalia to Ethiopia, though there was no extradition treaty between Ethiopia and Somalia. Still, Abdul Karim was handed over to Ethiopia. He is back in Somalia because Farmjao is suffering some setbacks. His position seems to be weak. Just after 48 hours, just 48 hours remaining, After that, new president will be elected in Somalia. Second news story is from Eritrea. Once again, Eritrea backed Russia at a meeting a few hours ago. UN Human Rights Council met in Geneva, I think, a few hours ago. A resolution was introduced for start of investigations into human rights abuses committed in Ukraine by Russia. 47-member body voted. 33 members of UN Human Rights Council favored the resolution, 2 opposed it, and 12 abstained from voting. Russia is not part of Human Rights Council. It was suspended a few weeks ago. Now, which countries supported Russia openly, which countries abstained from voting? Only 2 countries openly supported Russia. They opposed the resolution. The 2 countries are China and Eritrea. From day one, since the start of Ukraine-Russia conflict, we are seeing that Eritrea has been standing with Russia. 10 countries which abstained from voting, which is also a way of supporting Russia. These 10 countries, not 10 countries, 12 countries, sorry. The 12 countries are Armenia, Cameroon, Cuba, India, Kazakhstan, Namibia, Pakistan, Senegal, Sudan, Uzbekistan, Venezuela, Bolivia. These 12 countries abstained. So indirectly, they supported Russia too. Resolution has been passed because 33 members they voted in favor of the resolution. Russia-Eritrea ties are strengthening because in this time of crisis, whether right or wrong, but Eritrea is standing with Russia. Third news story is about a visit of Afar region's president. We have seen clashes, tensions in Afar Somali region border areas close to strategic Ethiopia-Djibouti highway. We have seen clashes between some Somali and Afar militias, tribes, forces as well. It has been happening for years. Clashes were linked to some border disputes and off and on clashes go on there. So overall relations between the 2 regions have not been very enviable. But Afar president today arrived in Somali region. Awul Arba has landed in Jigjaga. He was warmly welcomed by Mustafa Umar, Somali region's president. Both are PP party leaders, Awul Arba and Mustafa Umar. But overall, it's a good development that this people-to-people contact, government contact, it should increase. It will lead to some stability in border areas where clashes, we have seen clashes several times in the past few months. And both regions are in the grip of crisis. In Somali region, there is a drought which is engulfing parts of this drought. A large number of cattle has perished and there is shortage of food, shortage of water, no rains. In Afar, TDF's recent offensive has inflicted heavy losses on infrastructure. Tens of thousands have been displaced. Infrastructure, civil infrastructure like hospitals, schools, they've been destroyed as well. So both regions are facing problems. So they should join hands to work for the people of the 2 regions. A fourth news story is from Tigray views. Tigray's 4 non-state actors, they have written a letter to Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International. The letter is about a report released by HRW Amnesty last month. The report the report was about ethnic cleansing of Tigrayans in western Tigray. These four groups are backed by Tigray government. It means the Tigray government is not questioning the report directly. It is indirectly raising questions about the report, though much of the report was in favor of Tigray. What are these four groups saying? Firstly, the name of the four groups are Alliance of Civil Society Organizations of Tigray, looks like an NGO, Tigray University Scholars Association, Mekelle University Human Rights Center, Mekelle University Legal Aid Center. So these four groups, these four entities are backed by Tigray government, I believe. What are their concerns about the report released by Amnesty and HRW last month? Firstly, they say that Maikadra massacre was blamed on Tigrayans in the report. It should be corrected. Tigrayans were not involved. Secondly, they say that though the report mentions Western Tigray, that name of the place is mentioned Tigray, but in some parts of the report there is written that the area is contested. The four entities are questioning. They say that this area is not contested. According to Ethiopian constitution, this area is part of Tigray. So it should have been addressed as Western Tigray throughout the report. Thirdly, they say that there is no mention of Eritrean Defense Force. Their members have been involved in rape, in lootings, in violence, but there is no mention of Eritrean Defense Force. And lastly, they say that throughout the report, HRW, Amnesty, they address Amhara government as Amhara regional government, but they address Tigray government as TPLF. TPLF is a political party. It's not a government. Yes, it is part of the government. It's leading the government, but it's not government. So it should be corrected. It seems that Tigray government wants these corrections, or it says that in future reports, these mistakes should not be repeated. Lastly, we have a video clip for you of Derartu Tulu, Ethiopian legendary athlete, first African woman who won, African black woman who won a gold medal in Olympics. She is the head of Ethiopian athletics body as well. The video shows Derartu Tulu shouting, she's arguing with some security officials. What happened? What's wrong? Reportedly, the video is from Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital. In coming videos, we'll update you about this video. Watch the video. Thanks for watching.
वीडियो ये करता हूँ good enough.